Our world is filled with fascinating tales and myths that sometimes seem too remarkable to be true. But what if there was a grain of truth in them? What if we were actually put on Earth by a race of ancient extraterrestrial beings known as the Anunnaki? What if these beings were from a mysterious planet called Nibiru, also known as Planet X? And why did they need gold so badly? This journey we're embarking on today might seem like science fiction, but let's delve deep and find out. Welcome to Life's Biggest Questions. Now let's continue on, shall we? Let's dive into the intriguing lore of the Anunnaki and their home, Planet X, or as the ancient Sumerians called it, Nibiru. According to ancient texts, Nibiru was a planet in our solar system with a highly elliptical orbit, entering the inner solar system only once every 3,600 years. But why does this matter? Well, these timeframes align surprisingly well with various significant periods in Earth's history. The Anunnaki were supposedly a highly advanced civilization, possessing technology and knowledge far beyond what we believe was available at the time. Some theorists even suggest that they had the capability to traverse the vast distances of space, which is how they found their way to Earth. But what's even more fascinating is the reason behind their interstellar journey. The story goes that their planet's atmosphere was deteriorating and they needed a solution. Continuing our journey into the heart of the Anunnaki and Planet X story, we can't help but marvel at the extensive mythology surrounding their civilization. The Anunnaki were believed to be the gods or heavenly beings in Sumerian culture, standing at the apex of their cosmology. They were said to have descended from the sky, providing knowledge and guidance to the primitive human societies of the time. But as we unravel more about the Anunnaki, we find that they weren't just spiritual or divine entities. They were described as real, tangible beings with distinct personalities, desires, and conflicts. Their interactions with each other, as well as with humanity, were documented in numerous Sumerian texts. Their impact was profound, shaping the trajectory of human civilization in more ways than one. The tales depict them as beings who manipulated DNA, advanced architecture, mathematics, astronomy, and agriculture, implying a scientific knowledge base much broader than was available to humans at that time. But as intriguing as these stories are, they also raise many questions. Why would such an advanced civilization need help from primitive humans? Why Earth? And what does gold have to do with all of this? These questions might seem outlandish or fantastical, but when we delve deeper into the lore and the science behind these theories, we find a universe of possibilities that might just make us rethink our understanding of ancient civilizations and our place in the cosmos. Moving deeper into our exploration, we come across one of the most intriguing theories about the Anunnaki, their alleged role in the creation of humans. Now, according to various interpretations of ancient Sumerian texts, the Anunnaki did not just stumble upon humans on Earth. They played an active part in our creation. But why? As the story goes, the Anunnaki, living on a distant planet, Nibiru, with a long elliptical orbit around the Sun, were facing a crisis. Their planet's atmosphere was deteriorating and they needed a solution to save it. This is where gold comes into the picture. Gold particles were to be used in their atmosphere to repair the damage. However, mining for gold was labor-intensive and required a workforce. Unable to meet this demand with their population, the Anunnaki turned to Earth, rich in the gold they so desperately needed. But there was a problem. The work was hard, and there was no workforce readily available. So they decided to create one. Using their advanced knowledge in genetics, they allegedly manipulated the DNA of the existing hominids on Earth, gradually leading to the emergence of Homo sapiens, us. We were, as per this theory, originally designed as a race of workers created to mine gold for the Anunnaki. As outlandish as this theory may sound, proponents argue that it provides an alternative explanation for the sudden evolutionary leap that resulted in the appearance of modern humans, but it also opens up a whole new world of ethical and philosophical questions. What is the true nature of our existence? Are we more than just workers for extraterrestrial beings? If the Anunnaki created us, who created them? Taking a closer look at the narrative, we stumble upon a rather interesting aspect: the fixation on gold. Now, gold is a fascinating element. It doesn't corrode, it's malleable, and it conducts electricity. But why would a distant planet, Nibiru, need gold? According to the Anunnaki theory, Nibiru's atmosphere was in crisis. The planet's life-sustaining qualities were being compromised. It's said that the Anunnaki, known to be technologically advanced, figured out a possible solution to this problem. Their plan was to suspend particles of gold into Nibiru's atmosphere, hoping that these particles would form a protective layer, reflecting sunlight and thus restoring the balance of their atmosphere. This puts gold in a unique position. For us on Earth, it has been used as a symbol of wealth and power, but for the Anunnaki, it was apparently the key to environmental stability, the solution to a planetary crisis. It was not about luxury or status, but survival. Proponents of the theory point out that gold's unique properties make it plausible as a potential atmospheric shield. Its resistance to corrosion and ability to reflect sunlight could theoretically help restore an atmosphere, although such a process would require technology far beyond what we currently possess. It's also interesting to note that gold has been revered and sought after by almost every civilization on Earth. Some theorists argue that this universal fascination with gold might have been implanted in us by our alleged creators, the Anunnaki. And if this is true, does our continued obsession with gold suggest a lingering subconscious connection to our supposed extraterrestrial origins? Getting deeper into the allure of gold, what makes gold so special? It's a question that piques our curiosity. After all, gold is just a shiny metal, isn't it? Well, not quite. Gold, as we've already established, is an extraordinary element. It doesn't corrode or tarnish like other metals, making it last virtually forever. It's also highly malleable and ductile. A single ounce of gold can be beaten into a sheet covering 300 square feet, or drawn out into a wire 60 miles long. From an aesthetic perspective, gold's lustrous, warm glow has been universally cherished for its beauty. Yet, its value extends far beyond its appearance. Gold is an excellent conductor of electricity and is highly resistant to most acids, making it incredibly useful in numerous industries from electronics to dentistry. In the context of the Anunnaki theory, the physical properties of gold made it an ideal candidate for repairing Nibiru's atmosphere, but gold's significance goes beyond its physical characteristics. In many ancient cultures, gold was associated with the divine or the gods, possibly due to its seemingly immortal nature and radiant shine. This raises an intriguing question. Could the cultural importance of gold be a remnant of our supposed Anunnaki creators' influence? When we look at the world today, the importance of gold remains. It backs our currencies, it's an essential component of our electronics, and it's a symbol of love and commitment in our jewelry. Is all of this a mere coincidence, or could it be a sign of a more profound cosmic connection? It's something to ponder about. In the realm of physics and chemistry, gold is an elemental superstar. It's one of the least reactive elements on the periodic table, meaning it doesn't easily combine with other elements to form compounds. This makes it resistant to tarnishing and rusting. A gold artifact buried for thousands of years will shine as if it was made yesterday. Gold's inertness is one reason it's biocompatible. It doesn't react with human tissue, making it suitable for medical uses, like fillings and implants. Gold nanoparticles are even being explored for use in cancer treatments. Its ability to reflect heat and radiation also has practical applications. We use gold foil to protect astronauts and their spacecraft from the intense radiation of space, and gold coatings are used on the windows of large buildings to reflect sunlight and keep interiors cool. Beyond the physical, gold has an undeniable psychological allure. It's been a symbol of wealth and power for millennia. In ancient cultures, gold's enduring shine led people to associate it with the divine and the eternal. This allure isn't lost on the Anunnaki theorists who propose that the ancient Sumerians' reverence for gold was influenced by these celestial beings. They suggest that gold was not only desired for its physical properties but also as a symbol of divine power and interstellar capability. The golden thread that ties our history, mythology, and technology together is fascinating. Whether gold's appeal comes from our alleged Anunnaki origins or simply from the element's unique properties, one thing is clear. Gold has shaped and continues to shape our world in profound ways. The Sumerians were the creators of one of the earliest known civilizations, establishing urban development, governance systems, and one of the first written languages, cuneiform script. According to proponents of the Anunnaki theory, This advanced knowledge did not evolve independently but was given to them by these celestial beings. The Anunnaki, if we follow the theory, brought the Sumerians advanced knowledge in numerous fields. They were said to have taught them agriculture, making the Sumerians among the first to transition from a nomadic lifestyle to settled farming communities. The Sumerians' revolutionary irrigation systems, which allowed them to thrive in the harsh, arid environment of Mesopotamia, are theorized by some as Anunnaki knowledge. In addition, the Anunnaki supposedly introduced advanced architectural techniques. The ziggurats, towering stepped pyramids that dot the Mesopotamian landscape, are believed by some theorists to be evidence of this cosmic architectural education. The complexity and scale of these structures indeed suggest an advanced understanding of construction and engineering. Some theories even suggest that the Anunnaki imparted the early foundations of laws and justice, leading to the creation of the Code of Hammurabi, one of the oldest known legal codes. The complexity of this legal system, encompassing various aspects of daily life, is seen by some as a sign of Anunnaki influence. The Anunnaki are also thought to have shared advanced astronomical knowledge. The Sumerians were skilled astronomers, accurately charting celestial bodies and events. Their understanding of the cosmos was surprisingly advanced for the time, with some theorists suggesting that this knowledge was passed down from the Anunnaki. So there you have it. The story of the Anunnaki and Planet X is a captivating blend of ancient mythology, celestial mechanics, and the quest for gold. It's a tale that asks us to reconsider our place in the universe and the very history of humanity. While it's essential to approach such theories with skepticism, they certainly provide a thrilling perspective on our ancient past. And what if I told you that the foundations of our civilization, our technologies, and our knowledge were the legacy of an ancient race of extraterrestrial beings? Sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But for those who subscribe to the Anunnaki theory, this isn't mere fiction but a plausible explanation of human history. Today, we're embarking on a journey to a hypothetical celestial body, the so-called Planet X or Nibiru, exploring the mythology surrounding the Anunnaki and their alleged influence on humanity. Planet X, more commonly referred to as Nibiru or the ninth planet, is a theoretical planet that's believed by some to exist on the extreme outer edges of our solar system. This concept isn't a new one. In fact, it has roots going back to the 19th century when scientists like Percival Lowell postulated the existence of an unseen planet to explain the irregularities in the orbits of Uranus and Neptune. However, the discovery of Neptune's moon Triton and further observations led to the dismissal of these theories. Fast forward to the 21st century, and the idea of Planet X has been resurrected, not as Nibiru, home to an alien civilization, but as a potential ninth planet in our solar system, a world perhaps 10 times the mass of Earth and as much as 20 times farther from the Sun than Neptune. The proposed existence of this planet. 9 comes from the strange clustering and distinct tilt of a group of high perihelion Sedna-like objects. These are distant minor planets that have orbits taking them hundreds, even thousands of astronomical units from the Sun. Scientists Konstantin Batygin and Michael E. Brown at Caltech presented strong evidence of this unseen, massive perturber in 2016. They noticed that a group of icy objects beyond Neptune, known as trans-Neptunian objects or TNOs, had odd orbits that appeared to be influenced by the gravitational tug of a larger, distant unseen planet. However, despite extensive searches and numerous candidate objects, this ninth planet remains supposedly unconfirmed. Some scientists propose alternative explanations for the TNO's peculiar orbits, such as the collective gravitational influence of a distant disk of icy bodies. Nevertheless, the allure of a hidden world in our own cosmic backyard continues to captivate scientists and lay people alike. The Anunnaki, a term that means those of royal blood, or those who from heaven to earth came, are a group of deities that appear in the mythological traditions of the ancient Sumerians, Akkadians, Assyrians, and Babylonians. According to these ancient Mesopotamian cultures, the Anunnaki were the most powerful deities in the pantheon, descendants of An, the god of the heavens, and their primary function was to decree the fates of humanity. But the story of the Anunnaki takes on a more intriguing form in the hands of Zecharia Sitchin, a controversial author best known for promoting an alternative interpretation of human history. In his Earth Chronicles series, Sitchin proposed that the Anunnaki were not mythological deities, but rather extraterrestrial beings from a planet in our solar system beyond Neptune, the aforementioned Planet X or Nibiru. Sitchin's theories, although not supported by mainstream historians or scientists, draw upon his own interpretations of ancient Sumerian texts and the iconography and symbolism of Mesopotamian art. He suggests that the Anunnaki came to Earth around 450,000 years ago in search of minerals, particularly gold, to save their dying planet by using it to repair their damaged atmosphere. Moreover, Sitchin postulates that these ancient astronauts genetically engineered Homo sapiens as a labor force. He credits the Anunnaki with accelerating our evolution and introducing advancements in human civilization, including the concepts of agriculture, law, architecture, and even the fundamentals of astronomy. Interestingly, several ancient cultures indeed have stories about gods descending from the heavens, teaching humanity various aspects of civilization. From the fallen angels called the Watchers in the Book of Enoch, who shared forbidden knowledge with mankind, to the Vimana riding gods of Hindu mythology, and the feathered serpent deity Quetzalcoatl of the Aztecs, who is said to have brought knowledge of agriculture and the calendar system to humans, there are these pervasive narratives of sky gods uplifting mankind. But why would such advanced beings decide to come to Earth, of all places? As per the theories espoused by Zecharia Sitchin, the answer lies in a metal we're all quite familiar with: gold. Gold has always held a special place in human history, seen as a symbol of wealth, power, and divinity. But for the Anunnaki, it apparently had a far more practical purpose. The idea is that the Anunnaki's home planet, Nibiru, had a severely damaged atmosphere, not unlike the concerns we have about our own ozone layer. The Anunnaki, being an advanced civilization, knew how to mitigate this problem. By suspending gold particles in Nibiru's atmosphere, the gold would act as a shield, reflecting harmful radiation back into space and insulating their planet, much like how we use reflective materials to guard against the sun's heat. However, Nibiru's gold resources were dwindling, and this is where Earth entered the picture. Our blue planet, according to Sitchin's interpretation of Sumerian texts, was rich in this precious metal, which ultimately led to the Anunnaki's arrival on Earth. It's suggested that they established mines, particularly in Africa, where today we find some of the richest gold deposits in the world. It's an intriguing theory, and it mirrors some of our own contemporary interests in space exploration. For instance, today we talk about asteroid mining as a potentially lucrative enterprise because of the rich deposits of precious metals that asteroids contain. So the idea of an advanced civilization scouring the cosmos for resources isn't entirely outlandish. When we think of gold, we often picture it as a symbol of wealth and power, used to create artifacts, adorn temples, or be fashioned into jewelry. But according to the Anunnaki theories, gold was more than just an ornamental or symbolic resource. It was a solution to a planet-wide problem. As we discussed earlier, the Anunnaki's home planet of Nibiru supposedly had a compromised atmosphere. The Anunnaki sought to repair this by using gold, a resource that was apparently scarce on Nibiru, but abundant here on Earth. But why gold, you might ask? Interestingly, gold has a number of properties that make it uniquely suited to such a task. It's highly reflective, able to block heat and light, and it's incredibly resistant to corrosion. In a way, gold could act as an extremely effective insulator if suspended in an atmosphere, reflecting harmful solar radiation back into space while keeping the desirable conditions intact. In fact, we see a bit of a parallel in our own space endeavors. For instance, the visors on astronaut helmets are coated with a thin layer of gold to protect them from the unfiltered sunlight in space. We also use gold in our satellites and spacecraft for similar reasons. So the idea of using gold in such a manner might not be as far-fetched as it seems. However, while the notion is scientifically plausible, the theory of the Anunnaki using Earth's gold for this purpose remains unsubstantiated. There's no solid archaeological or historical evidence to suggest that ancient extraterrestrials mined Earth for gold. The narrative stems from a certain interpretation of Sumerian texts, which is not universally accepted. The importance of gold to the Anunnaki and the resultant interaction with humans, as per the theory, does paint a fascinating picture of our ancient history. Those who subscribe to the Anunnaki theory believe that these beings had a major role to play in the development of human civilization. Some say that they essentially jump-started our society, providing us with knowledge and tools that greatly accelerated our progress. The Sumerians, one of the earliest civilizations on Earth, are often mentioned in these discussions. They were known for their advances in astronomy, mathematics, and law, among other fields. Some argue that these advances were too sophisticated to have developed without outside influence. Hence, they postulate the Anunnaki imparted these advancements upon the Sumerians. An interesting part of this theory includes the origins of written language. Some believe the Anunnaki gifted the Sumerians with cuneiform, one of the earliest known systems of writing. By giving humans the ability to record and pass on knowledge, the Anunnaki allegedly elevated human culture and set us on the path to becoming the technologically advanced civilization we are today. Proponents of the Anunnaki theory often point to depictions in ancient Sumerian art and iconography that seem to show human-like beings of larger stature, sometimes depicted with wings or surrounded by symbols of power and divinity. These, they claim, are the Anunnaki, and their presence in such artwork is further proof of their influence. Believers in the Anunnaki theory often highlight similarities between various ancient cultures as further evidence of extraterrestrial intervention. For instance, the story of a flood and a savior figure who rides it out in a ship, which is seen in both the Sumerian epic of Gilgamesh and the biblical story of Noah, is thought to suggest a common origin. Are these independent stories or echoes of an ancient memory shared by all humans? Moreover, across various civilizations, from Sumerians to ancient Egyptians, Mayans, and even Native American tribes, there are references to sky gods or celestial beings who descended from the heavens. Could these be disparate accounts of the same extraterrestrial visitors, the Anunnaki? Then there's the matter of pyramids. These majestic structures were built in different parts of the world by civilizations that supposedly never had contact with each other. The ancient Egyptians, the Mayans, and civilizations in ancient China. Each set of pyramids aligns with certain celestial bodies or events. It's an intriguing correlation that prompts the question, was this a coincidence? Or is there something more to it? But as compelling as these parallels may be, they are not universally accepted as evidence of Anunnaki influence. Many scholars attribute these similarities to convergent evolution of civilizations, the idea that different societies independently arrive at similar cultural practices and beliefs. Others theorize about the possibility of ancient cultural exchange that we don't fully understand yet. It's important to keep in mind that just because something isn't fully understood, it doesn't automatically mean that the explanation is extraterrestrial. So are we the descendants of an advanced alien civilization? Or are the Anunnaki tales simply part of our rich tapestry of mythology, the product of imaginative storytelling and our inherent fascination with the unknown? As of now, the lines between fact and fiction remain blurred, but as we continue to explore our universe and uncover the secrets of our past, we might someday stumble upon definitive answers. Until then, let's keep probing, questioning, and marveling at the captivating mysteries of our existence. And as always, thanks for watching.